there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, today we are talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we are talking the Fletchers, because they are being talked about for all of the wrong reasons. I always had suspected when Mel was talking about there was no gray areas and how she was blocking out the gray areas in her life, that this possibly was one of the people from the show that she was talking about as she was completing filming for this season. And you know, the interviews and the comments and the link ups and everything else is seeming to track as far as it goes, as far as the Fletchers, right? So what am I talking about? So, you remember Crystal Jordan that I had referenced an article that she did calling out Martell's arrest. However, she previously wanted to make it known that she was not a millimeter. In a previous article that came out in November that I referenced, that she said that basically Mel was strategic and calculated how to, you know, maximize and profit off of her off of her pain of being cheated on, and I just didn't find that appropriate. But nonetheless, she had an interview with the Fletchers and was trying to get the lowdown on, you know, their relationship with Melody and Martell and how the show is back focused on them. And she also had chimed in with Nell to make it known that she was happy that Nell was not choosing a side, you guys, and that she was being quote unquote fair. But I didn't find Nell's comments fair, you guys, because even after all this time, it's been a few months since obviously this arrest, and obviously it's been a few episodes since we are seeing the confessionals and the different conversations about the arrest that has taken place and the why the arrest happened. And it seems that I don't feel Nell's stance really has changed as much. I don't know if it was me, but she still is going off the same talking points that she doesn't want to see a black man arrested, and that there could have been another way to resolve this, which I don't understand, because Martell has been harassing Mel. This has been escalating for over 4 years since she left for good. I mean, what is she supposed to do at this point? Like the next step would have been for this tape to be released out to the masses, right? That was the whole point of this. Right? Well, was the last threat of, you know, sending the screenshots, sending these images of their sex tape, and threatening for that to be exposed and to be put out there to the masses, and have a side chick or whoever create a fake account on social media saying that Mel was cheating on Martell, and here's the proof, here's the sex tape, except for it's Martell in the actual sex tape when they were married, right? And so Nell is saying as well that she would be upset that if Chris had did this to her, however, she doesn't think that, you know, that would have happened, or it would have got to this point. Basically calls both Mel and Tell, you know, stubborn and hard-headed, and they like to do tit for tat, and they always like to argue and all these other things. And here's my thing about this, right? I want to say for the record, you know, I don't put on anybody on a pedestal. I don't consider anybody goals or anything to look up to. You know, definitely none of us are perfect. We strive to be, you know, as good people as we can, right? But we also make mistakes. We also have our flaws and have our faults as well that shape us. But what I don't understand in this particular situation, and trying to basically say that Mel is extra and doing the most, how else was Mel supposed to react at this point when she has an ex-husband that is obsessed with her and still wants to try to control everything that goes on in Mel's life and the kid's life? Like what was Mel's other option at this point? And you'll remember prior to this, when you know, they first were going through their divorce, there was no communication between them. They had to use an intermediary because Mel was sick of how Martell was moving. He was blowing her up. He was recording conversations and trying to twist things around. So that's why he only had her email, because she was tired of changing her phone number a bunch of times. Because it got to the point where he literally was harassing her over the phone. And so then, with this custody battle, they had to mandate now that she had to give him a phone number. And that is when these threats started back up again. So how is this Mel's fault, you guys?
How is Mel the problem when she was trying to create boundaries before it escalated to this beforehand, when Martell wasn't getting the hint that the email in the third-party intermediary was going to be the best option for them as long as Martell was going to continue to act unhinged, right? But he saw that as a way to try to find a way to get more access to Mel once again with the communication and amp up the harassment until he gets his way, and it's not okay. Also, when Chris Fletcher was asked some questions as well about what he felt about the arrest, the revenge P, and all the things, he kind of just took this stance like, I don't really care, or I don't really know, the why or the background or whatever, like it's done, And I was like, okay. So I'm like, all right. But it's just, I don't know, it's just very weird, right? And it's another example of the so-called friends of Mel's that, are thick as thieves before the show starts filming, before the show happens, and then they get on the first season and everything still seems like they're still cool. Then the second half of the season or towards the end of the season, we start to see the shift as they are now aware of, the episodes that are airing and what people think of them and all of the things. And then they do the same thing that everybody else has done, that Letitia has done, that Kimmy has done, that Destiny has done, that Stormy has done, right? And all of the things. They all of a sudden have a problem with Mel. But this is the same Mel that you've known before the show and during the show and everything else, but the switch up happens. The inevitable switch up happens, and it even happened to an extent with Kiki as well. And so, nonetheless, Nell's referencing how she hadn't spoke to, Mel yet before getting all the details about what happened, but is still putting out there that quote unquote Mel sent Martell to jail, right? And then, and that's not the case. He kept harassing her. He kept threatening to reveal and expose their sex tape to the world, right? And he has no right to do that. And the other piece is she's now trying to fall for this act that, he was arrested with the kids. No. And this is the same playbook that Destiny tried to pull with, her being at the doctor's office with her son. No. Martell and Destiny know that the fans don't see it for them. Destiny and Martell know that they cannot tell the truth to save their lives. And they cannot go from interview to interview and say the same thing because, they can't do it because the truth is not in them. The truth is not in them. Everything that they do is reactionary. Everything they do is reactionary. Everything they do is calculated. Everything they do is an attempt to try to gain sympathy. And the problem that they have is that people are not just going to take what they say as the gospel and take it at face value. They're going to investigate and they're going to pull receipts on what they've said and done in the past and how what they're saying today doesn't make any sense. But how Nell can easily just fall for the okie doke, I have black sons, I don't want to see black men go to jail, kids were there at the time, even though conveniently, the first day of filming season 7/8/9, Martell conveniently is arrested, you guys. So you can't tell me he did not know that there was a warrant out for his arrest and that this was going to be a storyline because before these reality shows even film, you discuss what's going on in your life. So he knew there was a warrant out, right? And conveniently waited because the warrant had been out since last summer. Conveniently waited until the first day of filming for the following season to quote unquote turn himself in. But my thing is, if you're just going down to the courthouse to just, do whatever, to pull some documents or whatever, why did your kids need to be there for that? But again, You thought you could manipulate the viewing audience by saying, hey, my kids were there when all this happened, and my kids are traumatized and terrified, trying to see, their father now in handcuffs and getting arrested and blah, 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 blah. No. Nobody told you to do any of that. Nobody told you to, conveniently go to the courthouse while you have your kids with you, right? Your time with your kids should be fun stuff, right? Should be at the park, be at the zoo, whatever, right? Or if they're back in school, if school is back in session from holiday break, because this arrest happened back in January, why couldn't you go while they were at school? Why conveniently, when the camera started rolling and you conveniently had your kids, did you pull the stunt? But now it doesn't look at it that way, right? She wants to look at it as, we have to protect the black man no matter what, no matter the cost. But the gag is, you would not be having the same energy if all of the shenanigans that Martell is pulling is happening to you. And the thing is, he still drags you and Chris. So I don't know what holding Martell accountable angle that they're talking about, because for all intents and purposes, Martell still gets away with a slick mouth. So even this upcoming preview for this next episode, he's still calling Nell a side chick. He's still, getting buck with Nell, at a sit down in which she disinvites him from an event because Mel will be there. So again, it's like, I just need people to keep the same energy. You're better off just saying, hey, Mel and I are not close anymore. Mel and I aren't good friends anymore. Because you would think if you know him as well as you claim, immediately when this arrest happened, wouldn't you want to call Mel and see how she's doing? And find out what the DV harassment charge entails? And find out how she's doing, how her mental health is? But instead you go on camera and film with Stormy saying you don't know, you haven't talked to her. So why are you talking with all of Mel's ops about her situation if she's supposedly your friend, as opposed to going directly to Mel first? Can you make it make sense? Because that's not a friend to me. If something happens that directly impacts me, and I have to see you talk to everyone else, including my ops, but me, and I'm like last on the list, I know where I stand as far as a friendship with you goes. And that means you're not my friend, right? Because you basically wanted to get the gossip and the lowdown on what the approach the rest of the cast was taking to this, and then add your 2 cents, and to make it about, maybe it's just a text message, we don't want to see black men, just being arrested and all these things. No, you're not just getting arrested for a text message, people. Come on now. But this is not the same thing as any type of discrimination or being wrongfully, just shot at for just simply being black and all the things. Like, this is not that, you guys. This isn't racism. This isn't any of these things. This is literally somebody for the past 4+ years that will not leave Melody Cherie Rogers alone. So what else is she supposed to do? And I feel like deep down, the cast knows this. The cast knows this, but they are willing, like I said, to dance with the devil, to stand with the devil if it prevents their tea from being exposed. And my thing is this: how bad is the real tea on all of you that you are still defending Martell to this day? And he's got a conviction that basically validates Mel was in the right to file this complaint and have this warrant out, right? But this whole thing is though Mel's just sitting at home twiddling her thumbs, trying to find out a way to get Martell arrested and trying to find a way to get back at him and be petty and all these things. They've got it all wrong. But this is what happens when you think that you are the expert on other people's situations and marriages, and you just want to take the side of whoever you feel is causing the least ruckus, even though that person actually is the cause of all the ruckus. You're taking the side of the person who wants to be the victim versus the actual victim. Can you make it make sense? And then you guys want to come for the fans, you want to come for the millimeters, Mel supporters, or any type of fan that sees through the BS and just say people are haters, people are miserable, people are single, people aren't married, blah, 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 blah. No. It has nothing to do with that. We are directly reacting to the tomfoolery that you guys keep pulling on and off the show. And you guys think that everybody is stupid. You guys think that people are stupid, that people aren't going to investigate, that people aren't going to pull receipts, that people aren't going to clock it for what it is. But to still go on interviews now, at the end of May, nonetheless, after all of this has exploded, after this conviction and everything else, and still go through that same narrative, oh, we don't want to see a black man in jail, and there could have been a better way for them to work this out when this has been escalating since the divorce happened. Make it make sense. But again, this is somebody, just like Kimmy, just like Letitia, and others in this cast, that they're going